gentlemen, lovely lady, I want to start by saying there is so much talent in this room, many rooms, of course, but on this call, I feel, this is just incredible. I feel very kind of out of place. There's way too much talent in one place. Your new film, of course, Loot Case, drops on Disney Plus Hotstar on Friday, the 31st of July. And I want to say, I really enjoyed the trailer. And I was talking to Kunal last week, and I said that, for me, I thought the basic premise of this film is one that every one of us at some point in our lives has felt, right? I mean, how cool would it be to chance upon a bag of, or 2 bags of all these incredible currency notes? To each of you, to the actors, and then maybe Rajesh can weigh in. What was the one thing that made you go, I want to do this?
Lambi Khamoshi. Who's taking this?
I'll take it. I think the biggest USP of the film is Rajesh Krishnan's unique brand of quirk and sense of humor.
Right.
So, I mean, the premise on its own is not new. It's been, it's been done multiple times, and so what is fresh, what is new, is the quirk and the sense of humor that his storytelling, brings in. Of course, co-written with Kapil. I don't know, before anybody brings that up and like, hey, Kapil ka naam nahi liya and all.
Kapil ka naam nahi liya.
So the script itself, was so quirky and funny that I immediately, latched on. And as far as my part is concerned, I play this, you can say, encounter specialist cop, pliable cop who's a kind of a gray. He's a gray character and has his own issues, and how that comes, kind of compounds his issues in trying to track this suitcase down. My part wasn't actively funny. He is not delivering the punchlines. Is more the foil in all the scenes. But that was okay. I mean, I'm willing to make that great sacrifice of not having the punchlines as long as there's great comedy.
Listen, I love that bit in the trailer where you say, "Ye Uber hai kya? Aage aake baith." Of course, you've got some great punchlines.
That's the odd one. But if you've seen the new promo which we have, the Gajar ka halwa one, I don't know if you saw that.
Incredible. I've seen that.
So he's my part is just playing foil to Gajaraj sir. Even in other scenes, you'll see that I'm playing the foil to the comedy. But it's just incredible. It's so much fun to be part of a comedy like this. Which is fresh.
He's completely underselling it, because comedy is so much about reaction, actually more about reaction than action.
Exactly.
All the jokes land on his face. So like every time that we've been watching, or little bits that we had to dub, I think he's the funniest in the film, because every time something happens and the way he's reacting to it, it's so funny that even when we were shooting, I used to just crack up. Right. I remember that one where I take the thela. And also, by the way, Ranveer has put on a voice for this film. So Ranveer will be talking like this. Okay, start. It'll be like that.
No, I'm not making. Please don't make me sound like Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, I'm not sounding like Amitabh
Bachchan. I cannot show exactly what you were doing, but you did definitely have a different voice.
Yeah, there's slightly bassier and more Maharashtrian. Yeah.
I'm very. Thank you for the compliment that I put bass and you thought I was like Mr. Bachchan, but I was just trying.
Rasika, for you, this is not what your day job, so to speak, right? And I think I love that about it. I mean, this looks like the kind of film that you had a lot of fun doing, even though it seems like the kind of thing one wouldn't expect to see you in.
Yeah, and that's what attracted me to it, actually. And I mean, the script came to me at a time when I was shooting Delhi Crime Season 1, and I really felt I could do with something lighthearted at that time, because that had been such an emotionally immersive experience. But also, I was so delighted to be a part of a lip-synced song finally.
Correct.
Like,
yes.
This quintessential Bollywood experience. It was my career going to be devoid of that. So I'm very happy that Loot Case offered that to me, and I've had so much fun watching that the little trailer that we have out for Pavitra Party, this song.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've never seen myself like that, so it's giving me a lot of joy also.
Proper dancing and all this, proper lip sync and dancing.
She has nailed it, and how? You have to see her. I mean, Kunal, of course, is an experienced, dancer, and we already know his great talent for that. But watching Rasika move, and I was like, man, she hasn't missed a beat,
That's true.
Literally.
There's such a joy. I have to say, there's such a joy in seeing, first of all, this cast, and I'm not saying this to flatter you because all of you are here, but it's such a mixed bag of a cast, and sort of seeing you all being used beyond what we normally tend to. I mean, I'm going to ask that to Rajesh, about just this is assembling a dream cast. I mean, I think Rasika and Gajraj and Ranveer, I mean, of course, Kunal, we know, with Kunal, we've seen the comedy and everyone loves this comedy. With Ranveer to some degree, but watching, it all come together is just such a joy. Gajraj, for you, I mean, that Gajar Ka Halwa trailer is so much fun. I mean, him kind of guilting this other guy when he's eating himself.
Yes.
What was for you? What was for you the reason to say yes to this film?
मेरी कास्टिंग 2015 में हो गई थी. कपिल 14-15 में हो गई थी. कपिल सावंत को मैं जानता हूँ, वो अपना एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी में क्रिएटिव डायरेक्टर थे, राइटर थे. तो वो उन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि राजेश और मैं एक स्क्रिप्ट लिख रहे हैं, उसमें आपका एक रोल है और आपका है वो. और राजेश को मैं एडमायर करता था, मिला नहीं था पर्सनली, उस तरह से हमारी बातचीत नहीं थी. तो वो तो तय था. मतलब ये होता यूपी साइड में ना, बचपन में शादी हो जाती है, फिर उसके बाद गौना होता है बाद में. तो ये मेरी बचपन में शादी हो गई थी इस फिल्म के साथ, और 5 साल बाद इसका गौना हुआ. और राजेश जो है, मुझे लगता है कि एक बड़ा अमेजिंग मिक्सचर है वुडी एलन और गाय रिची का, जो उनका सेंसिबिलिटी है, और जो कॉन्वर्सेशन होते होते आपको पता भी नहीं चलता कि कब ह्यूमर आ गया उसके अंदर. तो मैंने इनके जो एडवर्टीजमेंट्स हैं और जो इनका वेब शो था ट्रिपलिंग, तो मैं और भी अश्योर्ड था कि हाँ यार, ये जर्नी अच्छी होगी. इस आदमी के साथ डेब्यू करेंगे, इनकी पहली फिल्म में काम करेंगे तो कुछ मजेदार निकलेगा. ये अश्योरेंस था, मतलब ये एफडी था ये मेरे पास. तो वो ऐसा रहा.
फिर आप बने शातिर एमएलए.
In fact, I want to point out that when I read the script, I asked RK also that who's playing MLA Patil, and he told me Gajraj sir is playing it. Even on paper, it's one of the funniest parts I've read in recent times. And of course, Gajraj sir is custom made for it. Like he said, bachpan mein shaadi ho chuki thi. You can see that when I read the script, it was there. It was actually Gajraj sir playing MLA Patil.
नहीं, पर मैं जब मैंने स्क्रिप्ट पहली बार स्क्रिप्ट नरेशन हुआ था फाइनली 2017 में हुआ था शायद, है ना आरके? वो जो मतलब कुछ 8 घंटे का नरेशन हुआ था. सुना रुक गए और हंस के पागल हो गए. तो उसमें मैंने रियलाइज किया कि एक एक कैरेक्टर, चाहे वो डॉन का कैरेक्टर हो या कोलते का हो, नंदन का हो, मुझे खाली एक ही अफसोस रह गया कि नंदन और उसकी वाइफ के साथ सीन नहीं थे मेरे. तो वो मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया हुआ है कपिल को कि सीक्वल या प्रीक्वल में वो डाल देंगे.
That is my big grouse from Loot Case as well, because I did scenes with either Vijay Raj or with Gajraj.
Right. Kunal, I know I've asked you this before, but for the benefit of this conversation, I mean, what was it that spoke to you about this one?
The script, actually. I think both Rajesh and Kapil have done such a fantastic job to firstly dare to say that I'm going to debut with a film which is based on a topic that has been dealt with so many times, mostly been loved. Yeah. So there'll always be that comparison, but then dared to say that, okay, I will tell this story, but in such a different way with such different characters that will appeal to everybody. And it did, whether it was a backer who wanted to back this film or the actors that kind of got together to do this film. And you'll see that I always said that the simplicity with which this story is told and the simplicity with which the characters react, it's more that you're laughing at the situation more than, okay, now we'll have a joke and then now we'll build a scene around this joke. And when the joke will come, it'll be a house down laughter. Then we'll move somewhere. It's not like that. And even the jokes haven't been highlighted with a lot. They're just simply there. And that's what worked for me when I was reading it. And it's one thing to work on paper and then another totally different ball game to kind of have everybody put it together in a way that it makes sense to the audiences when they see it, or even you. Because I've done some work where, you know, it seems really funny on set, everybody's laughing, but then you're sitting in the theater saying, hey, this is not funny, man. Why is this not working? Where has it gone wrong? So all those things I think have fired well in this, whether it is a brilliant editor in Anand Subaya, an amazing background score for the film, and the direction and the acting. So I think all of those things, and right now it's like this fingers crossed moment, because everything that we're putting out there is being accepted wholeheartedly, which makes us more positive, that because we know there is so much more in the film. It's not one of those films where you see all the humor.
Put out all the best bits are in the trailer, right?
Yes. So yeah, so right now it's all excitement.
Right. Rajesh, you know, they're all saying that. They're all saying as a premise, it's one that we've seen before. And it's extremely relatable even then. You know, you know everyone's been through that moment of, I wish. But you know, what is that? Did you always know that there was more than just the idea that we'll make this work on the treatment and we'll make this work with the characters? And can you talk about just assembling this crackling cast?
So there are three things which I hear you ask here.
Right. Sorry. Yes.
Part of it is no. I'm just saying that the first part of it is basically, you know, if you actually Google movies with bag full of monies, you'll get about 40 of them. Starting from a Simple Plan to No Country for Old Men to Fargo, right? I mean, a couple of them are like Coen Brothers. I mean, they're like absolute, you know, gods in this genre basically. So the point of it was to see what is it that you can do with it basically. Every story is a function of the kind of discourse, your politics, things that affect you. How is it that you can kind of weave it into a certain outlook, right? And then put it in there and then embed it in there, right? So that was literally the idea. I mean, the premise is very simple. जो चीज free में मिलता है वो जानलेवा भी हो सकती है, right? I mean, I remember my dad saying many years after he actually retired, I got him a Vodafone number and a phone number. Basically, he keeps saying, why are these bank guys calling me and saying, you know, do you want a credit card? Do you want a credit card? Then I just sit down and explain to him. You get a credit card, you'll end up spending. Obviously, you're going to go spending much beyond what you've been earning. And at some point in time, those guys will start making money on you on the interest. Now, this is Will's humor. He actually kind of contributed for a second, looked outside the window, then he said, "Matlab, free mein hathi deke ja raha hai."
Correct.
Correct. You know, I couldn't have
it's a very middle class way of thinking, isn't it? Nothing good has come out of anything that came too easily or free.
Exactly. So the whole premise or the whole point of the film is actually, much as people have tried asking us, is it a chase comedy of sorts? It's not really a chase comedy of sorts. It's actually the trials and tribulations of a guy who's gotten this money, his complete inability to deal with it, he's so overwhelmed by it, and completely unaware of the fact that there's a world out there looking for him.
Right.
It's just basically broken into those two parts, really.
Correct.
So in terms of the cast, I mean, we went after each of these guys. We were very certain. I mean, like I said, Gajraj was pretty much in. So each of these guys, we actually went targeting them. We like a strategy saying that. And I was extremely nervous when the first narration happened because see, all guys can be very intimidating. I mean, they all look like these happy, nice deer. Monsters. They're giants. I mean, monsters to me. But I'm just saying that the way we had it in our heads, the master plan, to con them into to basically get them to buy into the vision. If they could buy into the vision and if they could buy into the idea of a comedy where, you know, it's a funny setup. We don't need to be funny. Let's not go out there and like emphasize on each of these dialogues like dialogue, encore, time for it. I mean, let's do as much throwaways as possible because we believe that the audience is intelligent enough.
Correct.
Leave it. I mean, somebody will actually, and this comes from a certain advertising hangover, which is that don't go out there and spell it. People catch, after the first time you watch it, what is it for the client to go out there and put money in 99 other times?
Correct.
Right. It's those things that people start feeling. It's those Easter eggs which you kind of like, you know, plant in there. So for us, that was like a discipline that came from there. We tried experimenting with some of these things. To see if, you know, people encoded the way we've, you know, decoded the way we've encoded it.
Right. You know, to the actors, I want to ask you, did you all know each other? Did you all, I mean, had a lot of you work together? And is that important for a comedy? I mean, how do you create a chemistry that works because, time is limited on a set. This is a huge ensemble. How well did you all know each other? How long did it take? And does the script really do a lot of the work in that case? Just getting into your character, and does that do a lot of the work in the absence of time to really have workshops and get to know each other?
Actually, I would say that I've not even had the opportunity I've not actually met Gajraj sir in person ever. We've only exchanged a few messages. I still did not have the opportunity to work with him. And I've always been a huge admirer of his work. But I can tell you confidently that if I got into a scene with sir, we would be able to do great stuff together, because I think some actors are of that breed that you're a different person, but you're a different actor. And when you're in that zone, you can just start feeding off each other's energy, and then, magic happens. And luckily that's the case with, I've known Ranveer from before. I'd seen Rasika's work. I never worked with her. But luckily, because there was such an ensemble and a great team of actors that was there, that we just kind of fed off each other's energy. Even Vijay Raj, I've always been a huge fan of his work.
Isn't he great? Yeah.
I had a very, I think one big scene with him, which is later in the film. And even then, I completely fed off his energy, because the first time he reacted to me, I laughed. And I was like, no, I have to discipline myself, because I was in awe of these, it's like you imagine it in a certain way, but an actor kind of does it in his own way. Correct. So for me, I feel that if it doesn't really matter if you know the person well enough, or you can know the person really well and still screw up a scene with that person. You have to gel as actors in that scene. That's what's most important.
Right. To the rest of you, Rasika, Gajraj, sorry.
In the making, there's footage of you and Vijay Raj incessantly laughing. There's a point where they actually took a break in between, saying, "No, let's just give it a 5-minute break and let's just back."
That's the other thing I've always wondered. When you're making a comedy, is it as much fun to make as it is to watch, or is that not really necessarily what the set is like? Just because you're making something funny.
I think that's what it is. That's the great thing about comedies, is that you enjoy making them.
Right.
If I think that in fact that's a great kind of a barometer to check how good the comedy you're working on is. That if it's cracking you up on set, means that even after multiple hearings and multiple readings, you still find it funny. Correct. Which means there's better chance of the audience finding it funny.
But that's tricky, and Kunal actually touched upon that. It's tricky. I've heard a lot of actors actually say that you can't take the set too seriously. You can't take the unit too seriously, because very often you're so much in love with your own material, you think it's working. And then, like Kunal said, you're in the cinema and no one's laughing.
No, that's strangely something which actually Gajraj warned me about even before the Gajraj, you remember this? Much before the shoot started, he said, "Arcade, don't be enamored by the stuff that happens in the set. Correct? You'll laugh your ass off in the set, but when you sit down to edit," and as a matter of fact, that actually happened with us. For me, the process was like having thrice the fun, because when we were writing one script, right? And when we were shooting it, we suddenly realized there were these bunch of guys in flesh and blood. Correct. Putting life into it. And then we were editing. There were a bunch of stuff, and I'll be honest, there are a bunch of things that did not work for us. But that's the beauty of editing. If you want like 1,000 square feet tile to be laid, you end up buying about 1,200 square feet. 20% is going to be waste. Right? But you still confident that even if it works out to 90% of, if 90% of it is good tile, it will still look beautiful. Right? So the third stage where we were actually rewrote the film was in the editing stage. Right? So those are the parts where we actually discovered things like what we are just discussing, which is something which looked really funny, and I kind of couple of takes I almost regretted. Maybe we should have done more takes in here, but we were lucky because we went back to something which was already really good. So there you go.
Right. Rasika, you want to weigh in? What was this experience like for you? Like you said, you were making Delhi Crime, and this is not what they usually come to you for.
Yeah, it was my first experience, so I don't really have another one to compare it with.
Compare with, sure.
I felt relieved for the lightheartedness that the content provided to the unit, So that was fun. And usually the kind of setups that I've been a part of, we are all like, okay, this is really intense. Let's just take a break and have some fun. But it was like, this is all fun, so let's all have some more fun.
Right.
But also, I think I had to, like I keep saying, I had to seriously remind myself to have fun.
Right.
used to being to prep in a different way. And Rajesh was very, very precise about timing. He wanted things timed in a particular way. And I was very nervous that I was not being able to deliver that. So I was constantly on my toes trying to make sure that that was done. So yeah, it was lighthearted because of the nature of the content, and that sort of, passes on to the entire unit. But you still have to pay attention to what you're doing, and especially because of not having so much experience in this, I was kept on my toes because of that.
We've all played Rajesh Krishnan.
A skit. I've seen people doing something called So Basically.
Yes.
Outstanding in that one, in the sense that she pretty much imitates everybody in a film set. And
I play these different characters in a film set.
Yeah.
Knew that, so there is another softer side to that intensity which we keep seeing a play otherwise.
Correct. I love the bit in the trailer where, they have the chicken hakka noodle moment. and she's sort of playing it with a straight face and she's saying Mangalwar. And I think that's the joy of it. The fact that it's sort of played straight and the humor is in the moment. Gajraj ji, what was it? Had you worked with any of them before? And is that important?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली बहुत फर्क पड़ता है कि जब आप आपने काम किया हो साथ में, तो उससे एक आपका बॉडी लैंग्वेज और आपका जहनी तौर पे एक दूसरे को समझते हैं आप कि आपकी इनसिक्योरिटीज बढ़ती हैं या कम होती हैं, आप ज्यादा अलर्ट होते हैं या कम अलर्ट होते हैं. तो जैसे मैं इसमें बहुत अलर्ट था क्योंकि रणबीर के साथ एक कहीं पे बहुत पहले नो स्मोकिंग में एक गेस्ट अपीयरेंस किया था मैंने, तो उसमें इतना इंटरेक्शन नहीं हुआ था. लेकिन कंटिन्यूसली पिछले 10-15 सालों से जब इनको काम देखा है इनका, और विजय राज और दोनों एक फ्लाइट में होता है ना, पायलट जैसे होता है जिसके फ्लाइंग आवर्स होते हैं, तो इनके स्क्रीन आवर्स मुझसे कई गुना ज्यादा है, 200-300 घंटा ज्यादा होंगे इनके. वो एक अलर्टनेस कि ये लोग कैसे अच्छे एक्टर तो हैं, ऑफ कैमरा भी ठीक दिखते हैं, मुझे परफॉर्म करने देंगे या नहीं करने देंगे. हर एक्टर की पहली चिंता ये होती है कि जब वो, और डायरेक्टर नया डायरेक्टर है, फर्स्ट टाइम फिल्म डायरेक्ट कर रहा है, वो कितना कंट्रोल में होगा अपने स्पेस पे. मैं राजकुमार संतोषी या मणिरत्नम के सेट पे नहीं हूँ कि जो वो स्टार हैं. एक्टर्स अपना स्पेस लेकर आते हैं, अपना एक रियल एस्टेट लेकर आते हैं कि मेरा एरिया है, इस 1500 स्क्वायर फीट में एंटर मत करो आप. तो उसको लेके मैं नर्वस था. वैसे भी नर्वस रहता हूँ मैं जब भी कुछ प्रोजेक्ट शुरू होता है. हर शूट में, हर शूटिंग का पहला दिन, उसके बाद के दिन के हर पहला घंटा एक अजीब सी घबराहट होती है कि सब कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया, मुझे करना ही नहीं चाहिए था, मैं बेड़ा गर्क हो जाएगा अभी. तो इसमें शायद पहला शूट हुआ था रणबीर के साथ, और मैं था कि यार ये और टेढ़े लोग हैं दोनों के दोनों, उनका अपना एक लैंग्वेज है, ये बड़े पोलाइट किस्म के प्रोटोकॉल में रहने वाले लोग नहीं है, साइक्लोन है इनका. हाँ, मतलब ये अपने मन की बात कहते हैं, कई बार अच्छी बात कहते हैं, कई बार उसको बोल जाते हैं, फिर बाद में बोलते हैं चल बोल दिया ना, ठीक है. विजय राज का भी वैसा है कि वो जैसे ये सारे जो जमहूरी हो रही है पूरा प्रमोशन का, तो उसमें वो नहीं आए वो, क्योंकि उनका एक अलग अपना है कि मुझे ये सब में मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगता है, या तो उसको लेके मैं कॉन्शियस था. लकीली ऐसा कुछ हुआ सेट पे कि जब हम कर रहे थे तो शुरू के 5-10 मिनट 15 मिनट में रियलाइज हुआ कि हाँ ये मुझे एज गजराज मुझे चैलेंज नहीं करेंगे ये को एक्टर के तौर पे, मेरे कैरेक्टर को जरूर चैलेंज करेंगे जी, दोनों के दोनों. तो वो मेरे लिए बड़ा एक मजेदार था कि होता ना कि आप इम्प्रोवाइज करना चाहते हैं या पोजीशन लेना चाहते हैं कुछ और, तो उसमें नया डायरेक्टर होता है वो ज्यादा हेल्प नहीं कर सकता, ये आपको आपस में करना होता है. ये क्लासरूम में जो होते हैं ना बच्चे, तो टीचर कितनों की हेल्प करेगी 30 बच्चों में, वो आपस में एक एडजस्टमेंट होता है और उसके हिसाब से आपको खेलना पड़ता है. तो लकीली मैं कह सकता हूँ कि वो जर्नी मेरे लिए अच्छी मेमोरीज के साथ रही, पॉजिटिव रही. मुझे उसके लिए कोई अनवांटेड या बिटर एक्सपीरियंस नहीं हुआ मुझे.
लेकिन मैंने किया सर बहुत कुछ.
नहीं एग्जैक्टली, मैं आपकी उसको वो नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं, लेकिन क्योंकि ये दोनों दिग्गज हैं और इतना इनका अपना ऑरा है दोनों लोगों का, दोनों का अपना एक स्पेस, और ये डिमांड करते हैं, रिस्पेक्ट डिमांड करते हैं, और इनका एक नजरिया है चीजों को करने का. तो वो तो मुझे इनके साथ जो
वेरी अनफेयर, गजराज सर, वेरी अनफेयर. आपने मेरे को विजय राज के साथ लाके खड़ा कर दिया. ही इज लेजेंड, I don't think I deserve to be in the same category.
Death in the Gunj.
मुझे थोड़ा नीचे उतारिए आप.
नहीं. Death in the Gunj देखिए आप. क्या कमाल का घोसला कितने बढ़िया
नहीं अभी मैं भी नाम लेने शुरू कर दूंगा. बधाई हो दे ऐसे ना, उसकी बात नहीं है.
फ्लाइंग आवर्स आपके उससे 300-400 घंटे ज्यादा हैं.
बट जो स्टैचर और एटीट्यूड की बात आप मुझे विजय राज के साथ, मैं यहाँ पे हूँ मार्केटिंग कर रहा हूँ, वो नहीं है. आप मुझे सेम ब्रैकेट में नहीं डाल सकते. Sorry.
I'm the only person who's allowed to fanboy here. Yeah, I think this is really a wonderful cast.
I will sum it up for you, Rajiv. Everybody was playing Rajesh Krishnan. Me, Gajraj, Kunal, Rasika, Vijay Raj. We were all playing Rajesh Krishnan.
हाँ. और उसके पीछे ये रीजन नहीं है कि राजेश कृष्णन ने बोला कि ऐसा करो. वो राजेश कृष्णन का अंदाजे बयां ऐसा करेक्ट है कि आपको लगता है ऐसे ही बोलना चाहिए. ये कैरेक्टर ऐसे ही बोलेगा.
But I think he was so clear on the characters, na. Is that so that's a very tight space there, and it's not like he was willing to bend or kind of accommodate your own interpretation of some part of the character. I don't think there was that much space. He was very specific about what his characters are, and he got them. So that really helps. That actually, if you believe me, that is better than being left to acha ab kuch karo.
Correct. Yes. Correct. The whole thing about films dropping on streaming is that it's a good way, because everyone talks about how there's no room for, unless you're a tentpole film, there's really no room for the quirky comedy or the small drama to get those open weekends, to get those in the theaters, and that's why this is being looked at as a great opportunity. And yet, as it turns out, this weekend there are 4 films dropping on the same day. Does it also feel like, even now that space has been sort of there's no sort of empty weekend in a sense?
No, I'll see, Rajiv. I've said this a couple of times before. The why we see the current shitstorm in the film industry, or this has been around, this debate, these issues have been around for a while.
Correct.
And I think these stem from the theatrical system, which is a film has to generate its revenue and get its viewership and distribution from a certain number of theaters with a certain number of shows, which now unfortunately, because of the history and the money or networking, is controlled by a certain bunch of people.
Correct.
Now, the streaming platforms inherently are different. It's not like if this film has to come, then this film has to go.
Right. They can coexist. Yeah,
they can coexist. So a film by a big star or a film by a smaller film, both are there on the shelf. It's for the audience to click on what they want.
Correct.
So I think inherently,
and that whole pressure of opening weekend and opening day is not there either.
I'm sure. I think that might come back also later on. That it's got so many views and all that might come. But I'm saying this is a very important factor with that. That there's space for both at the same time. That the streaming platforms are inherently a more democratic medium than theaters. I think that's going to make a difference.
And also,
you have sorry, yes.
Not competing with anything that's releasing with you. If you're competing with everything else that's out there,
That's right.
Not about what's releasing alongside your film.
Right. Kunal, do you have an opinion here? Also because you make movies which are, go to the theaters and get held back to waiting for the cinemas. Do you have an opinion here about, do you feel a little less pressure? Do all of you feel a little less pressure because it's not going to be about what is that number at the end of the day or what's that number at the end of the weekend?
Of course, I think it's a habit building thing, right? When the theaters also started, I think they started with making films which were slightly spectacle driven. So for a person to say that, why should I leave Doordarshan and go to a theater? Oh, because there is, for example, Hatim Tai was one of those films that I saw, or even Mughal-e-Azam, because they were all spectacles. So a habit was built to go to those theaters, and then in that habit, you started serving different kinds of films. So human drama are so-called parallel films. Then they found, a space, and they started doing well. Because I remember in college, we used to go and watch everything. We remember going for Rockford, which today would probably not find a theater, but we didn't get tickets for it. And then there was that time. And then later came this time where after the studios came in and then this saying that I want this, and number of films increased, shows became a thing, fights for getting number of shows started, then is when this problem started seeping in. Then the so-called parallel films that had become torchbearers of, you know, new cinema started to face that problem yet again. And now you have something like the web platform where success is going to be determined by the merit of the film and the content provided. And it's a theater which is available to everybody in their in their pockets or in their home screens, and it's on demand. So we never have to fight for that space. Now, how we justify the business and what that business will be is for time to tell us. And I hope that this space does not get corrupt in time with at least, it shouldn't be, I don't know how it will be. Like now you cannot release anything because a big film is releasing. So we will not release anything for 2 months. And then we'll release 5-10 films in this 1 week. And then one more big film will come and we'll not release anything for a month. So I don't know if that is even possible, but I'm saying something like that should not happen, because like, you know, we were discussing this is going to be in the library forever. So people can go and watch this. So there is no stress of how will this film open on a Friday for that talent to get work, because this platform in the West has given stars not just to this platform but to films also. So that can be the trend.
I still haven't got over the fact that you said you were in school when Rockford came out. Suddenly I feel very, very old.
I know, I was in junior college actually.
Okay.
Rajiv, to me, what it has taken away from us is that gratification as an artist that you get to see in a theater.
Right.
There are a set of things that you have done, and it's actually, I mean, in the absence of, if you start considering it's an idea that becomes a paragraph, that becomes like a synopsis, and that synopsis becomes like a screenplay, and then somebody comes on and says, listen, you know what, we can flesh out some more characters, make a script. So ultimately it comes from a dream, and you're still in the dark, and you actually, like, you know, shot somewhere in this whole oblivion of universe, you shot an arrow. The gratification of seeing that going and hitting the mark. When you see audience in a theater guffawing or crying or enjoying, there's so much learning there. The feedback loop pretty much completes for an artist over there. You get to see, this is the kind of stuff that, okay, this is where I went wrong. So the next time I'm going to do this, I'm going to watch out for things. Right.
It definitely takes it definitely takes away the romance, I feel, in a lot of ways. Because like I said, I wanted to be an actor because I was in that big theater and I saw Zanjeer, or I saw Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, or I saw Shiva. And that's the passion that it invoked in you, that you wanted to go out there. And also for a comedy like this, you know, as an actor, I think it makes me very happy when I go and see a film in a room in a big theater with people there, and you see that laughter is infectious, and things that you don't think are funny suddenly become funny over there. And for that moment, you feel like, I don't know, it's the closest that you can feel to being a rock star. Because you know, it's something you're invoking an emotion in an audience that's sitting there. So I think we're robbed of that, and I think that's why we were initially a little upset about the fact that we'll never know, not just the business aspect of it. We'll never know how much people would love this. Would they go again with their friends to watch it, and would they say these lines before they came? Like for me, like the latest was like when Munna Bhai happened. It was just like euphoria. You would just go there again and again, and you would feel those same things. So that romance, I feel, has gone away now.
Rasika, we've been denied. Sorry. Go on,
Rajesh. There was an interview which I saw Sacha Baron Cohen at some point in time, where he says that there were things that he was trying to do in an edit that kind of did not work, and he would fight with his writers, and then when they saw it in an audience, here's the observation that he made, which he said that you know, as an individual, the guy in the audience might be a moron, but in a group, they become a genius.
True. Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like
the collective experience. Yeah.
Ranveer, you've gone mute. Ranveer, you have to unmute.
Sorry, I was saying that mostly it's vice versa actually. Is that when people are alone, they're smart, and when they're in a group, they're morons.
Kind of infectious. You know, I mean, you're not really laughing at something, but then you kind of start looking around. It's almost like that guy, Tera Kya Hoga, Kalia. He's not laughing in the beginning when Amjad's like pointing a gun at him, but when people start laughing, he's looking around. He also starts basically then, you know, culminates into a goofa. But I'm seeing that kind of stuff. I've seen that happening so often in theaters. So I personally think that this time, maybe, you know, I've got to let go of that. But I am definitely looking forward to a time where I will be able to see the food that we served is being deliciously being enjoyed by, you know, the audience. The way it was cooked, the way it was intended to be consumed.
Well, you know, all the best. And I'm really excited about this one. I keep going on about the cast. I think that, you know, our entry, I think for most people, your entry into a film is the actors that you see on a poster, is the actors that you see in a trailer. And when you have such an incredible cast, it just makes sort of half the job done. I mean, I know I'm looking forward to watching it on Friday. As I was joking, Rasika, I feel like on this one we've been denied the opportunity to see you dancing on a 70mm screen. Just for that, you've got to make another one where you dance again, and it'll be another experience to watch it on a big, massive screen.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Ranveer.
guys.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you, Rasika.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you,
Rajiv.
Rajiv.
31st. Can't wait to watch it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.